Good morning, everyone. Hopefully everyone's doing well on a Thursday morning. This is the preferred vendor update for the Innovation Showcase. So this is kind of the call for all the vendors coming to the show this year. So we're about 5 weeks out, kind of getting excited. So things are kind of ramping up, both on the vendor side, the member side, and the AWG side. So it's been kind of crazy, but we got a lot of good stuff for you today. As you guys joined the call today, you were muted. If you have any questions throughout the call, you can unmute yourself on the phone by hitting *6, or if you're on the WebEx, there's a Q&A button in the bottom right-hand corner. Click on that and submit your question, and we'll get to that at some point through the call. We're going to go ahead and get started because we got a lot to cover. So again, the first thing that I really cover on every call is, hey, who to reach out to. If you don't know who to reach out to, that first one up there, that annual showcase at awginc.com. I know I've said this every week since we started these calls, but again, it's just a very important email address that if you just don't know where to go, that is a great place to start. And then hopefully everyone else on that list, if you fall into one of those areas, that you're already communicating, you're already talking to them, and you probably already know their name by now. But if you don't, if you lose their email, here's a list of everyone that you can kind of reach out and touch inside of AWG. Learning Lounge, educational workshop. So again, there are a few logos that are missing out there, and we're going to see those here in a little bit. But if you have not uploaded your logo into the box folder, we need that for various reasons, because it's going to be, in pamphlets, it's going to be in books, it's going to be on a board, and we'll call that out here in a little bit. But we need that logo. What we did do, because we were missing so many logos, that I went back to the 22 Innovation Showcase. If you attended that, I pulled that logo. I hesitated doing that a little bit because things happen throughout the year that maybe you've got a refresh on your logo, or maybe there was an acquisition and your logo changed. So if you have not uploaded your logo to your box account, please do so. Confirmation emails, obviously those have gone out for Learning Lounge. I think we're well past that. All the content, we're past that. The next thing from you guys that's due, and be thinking about that, if you are doing a Learning Lounge, if you are doing an educational workshop, those final presentations are due March 8th into AWG. Where to put those? Into your box account. So if you have those done, go ahead and upload that into your box account and we'll review those. Make sure they're in PDF form. Educational workshops. So kind of what to expect. If you're new to the Innovation Showcase, maybe you've never been before, and hey, what to expect inside these Learning Lounge educational workshops. This is kind of the way things are going to shape up for you. Each presenter, you guys are going to bring your own computer, your own laptop, your own device with your presentation loaded. We'll have techs on site on Monday to help you out if you have any issues, but we'll also have those techs available prior to your presentation. So we'll have them there just in case we have any issues. All those rooms are equipped with screens. We've got a stage. We've got AV hookups. We have clickers. We have a couple of options on the microphones. We got an over-ear microphone along with a handheld. So depending on how you want to navigate there. We'll also have an AWG host meet you prior to your presentation. The whole purpose around that is, one, hey, make sure that you have everything that you need, and if there's any issues, we can reach out and kind of get those addressed fairly quickly. But that AWG host will also introduce you inside of that presentation. So before you get going, those emails that were sent out, there was one question about a bio. That will be the bio that will be used inside of that presentation, or introducing you to the group. So very important stuff. If you haven't done it, I'm going to assume this group's ahead of the schedule. Everything's been posted, and we've got all that good stuff. More stuff on the educational workshop. There is going to be a touch base call. So if you are involved with the Learning Lounge educational workshops, you've already received an invite on your calendars for February 22nd. That meeting is going to be a half an hour, just 9:30 to 10 a.m. And it's really just, hey, let's kind of review expectations of what is this going to look like. And again, it's just another opportunity to answer any questions that you may have around those sessions. If you did not get that and you're part of one of those sessions, I went ahead and put all the meeting IDs, phone numbers, Google links. It's all on this page. So if you don't have that, hey, here it is. It's right here. Go ahead and take that, add it to your calendar. It says one meeting you don't want to miss. Lots of good information dedicated to just the workshops. Box accounts, I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. Again, upload those logos. Again, if you learning lounges, upload those presentations. Logos are going to be used. We're going to have a sponsor board this year at the showcase. The app is going to be used, and we're going to see that here in a little bit, along with the website. So those logos are going to be on there along with your initiatives. If you didn't get one, annual showcase at awginc.com. Let us know so we can get it, or maybe you're having trouble accessing it. I've helped a few folks out over the last week about accessing their box accounts. Usually pretty simple, but sometimes things happen. If you haven't got it, spam. That's another big one. We found some of those emails in your spam folder. Somehow they just end up there, and we find it, and then hey, you're good. You're golden. You're good to go. Culinary stage. So I'll kind of ask an update from Michael and David. Are you guys or either of you on the phone today?
Yes, I am. We have no update for culinary stage. We have a separate call meeting that we're having with each of the vendors, and so we're caught up with where we need to be. So no update at this time.
All right, perfect. Sounds like things are well on their way to have those culinary stage sessions. Very good. Thank you. Initiatives, logos, and print. So again, posting your organization logo print. It's going to be out there on awgshows.com. I haven't been out there and looked this morning. It's supposed to be out there. What's going to happen is you're going to have. Let me just go out there and see if it's there. So I'd love to show you guys what that looks like. Because what'll happen is we're going to post all your logos, all of your initiatives, along with a website. So that is your chance to review what that looks like today before we go to print. So you definitely want to get out there and take a look. Let's see, it's not out there. Pull that up for you. Sorry, guys. It's there. Let me find that later. I don't want to keep you guys hanging on too long. All right, I'm going to find that here in a little bit. But what you're going to see is out there on awgshows.com. I'm going to go and pull that up just so we see it. It's 22, and we get to 23. Up here at the top, you're going to see an exhibitor button. That's going to appear today. And once you click on that, all the vendors that are coming to the show are going to be listed out there. Again, you're going to see your logo. If your logo is missing, that means I don't have it. And I need to get that from you. Otherwise, it's just going to look blank, and you're going to see how it looks kind of weird not having a logo there. Your initiatives will also be out there. So read through those and make sure they're right. What we did was we went through those and kind of put a member flair on those initiatives, so that if a member was reading it, that it kind of spoke to their language from a retail perspective of why would they need to come and see you or have a conversation with you about what you guys do. So definitely check that out. If there are any changes whatsoever to it, email me directly. That way I can jump on it real quick and get that stuff updated because we only have a week to do this. So by February 17th, that's the date. We need to look at this next week. It'll take 5 to 10 minutes from your time to do that. And if there's any issues whatsoever, email me. And And eventually all that, we're taking that and we're going to print with it. So it's kind of like your first draft to kind of view things first, get an eye on what's going to go to print. If there's any issues, you can reach out on that. Very good. So looking for that page. Showcase website, again, that's exactly what we were looking at. It's another great place to check out schedules. We have updated the schedule in there on the showcase page.
Hey,
And
Jason, would you mind going back real quick? I just signed in. Where do you click to add that information again that we just spoke about?
to add,
Go back one slide. To check the initiatives and all that. Where exactly do you go on?
go to awgshows.com.
Right. But which tab do you hit?
And it's not out there yet. It's going to be
Oh.
called Exhibitor, and that's going to pop up today for you.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I just went there and it's not, so I didn't know. Okay, cool. Thanks.
No, not a problem. I was actually trying to find that page so I could show you guys exactly what that's going to look like. Perfect. I just found it. So this is what it's going to look like for you guys. So at the top, you're going to click on exhibitors, and then down below, it's just going to simply list out all of the organizations' names. Obviously, there's logos. Some of these top ones, you'll say, hey, they're missing logos. So you can kind of see they look a little weird because there's no logos there. But here's your initiative of what you guys are going to be showing at the show. And this is kind of the member side of it. It's like, okay, they're going to read this and figure out, yeah, I need to kind of see these folks. So again, the website, you got your name. Just look at this stuff and just make sure that this is correct. And again, that'll be populating today. And again, out there on that same showcase page, you've got updated travel information, speakers, hotels, but most importantly, schedules around that show. As far as what that looks like, we've updated the schedule. So we've got a nice schedule here. Same thing with the workshops. We've updated the workshop page. So it's kind of got everything that's going on inside of that showcase. So you're able to kind of get some more information of what things look like. Make sure the session that you guys are doing inside that learning lounge, educational workshop, make sure it's the right time. Make sure we're in sync there and so on. So good information on the site. Just make sure you kind of got that bookmarked and going forward there. The app also, if it's all on the app. So whatever's on the website is also on the app. For me, it's just nicer to have it on my phone. It's always with me. Two ways to download that. You've got the Apple side of things, then you got the Android side of things. Scan that QR code. Go ahead and get it on your device. Go ahead and sign into it. It's the same username and password that you use on the website. And go ahead and get it on your phone. That way you don't have to mess with it later on. Just one less thing to deal with. Exhibitor forms. So this is kind of where we are. There's different exhibitor forms here. So there's a packet there from OPCC. You can click on that. That's how you're going to order your electrical, your ice, your AV, or anything else that you may want in your booth from the convention center. Complimentary furniture form. That's going to be your trash baskets. It's going to be your tables and chairs. They just don't magically show up. So if you need that stuff inside your booth, you got to let them know. So that's Fern. You're going to fill that out, submit that, and you're good to go there. Sample request form and requirements, same thing. If you're doing any sample requests, and if you need product from an AWG warehouse, that's how you're going to order that. Or if you need special product from the warehouse. So that's very simple. Product shipped from the Kansas City warehouse and shuttled to the convention center. So if you need any of that, those are the forms to click on, and it'll pull those up for you. Fern, this is one question we've been getting quite often this week. So we wanted to get that addressed this week. Advanced shipment address. So this is where you're going to ship it to. So if you want to get all your stuff, your booth, you can start shipping that stuff in. That is the address to do so. The only requirement around that is just make sure you have a booth number on that shipment. Very important. If you don't have your booth number yet, hold on a second and we're going to get there today. Showcase equipment, just more of a reminder. Each vendor, you need to secure your own cases. We're working internally to identify those spares, but it's just not guaranteed. So hopefully you've already secured your own equipment, bringing that to the show, or you're having those conversations with someone inside of AWG if we've got any of those spares available. We do have some concession supplies. There's a couple of things listed out there if you need it. It's just a first come. This is kind of what the convention center has. If you need it, great, sign up for it, and then we can reserve that for you. You click on that link to kind of get a list of what they actually have. Sampling rules, quite a few questions coming in already about samples. Lots of sampling rules. I got about 3 pages here. It's pretty common sense stuff since we're kind of past the COVID side of things, but it's safe preparation. Keep your hands clean. I'm not going to read this verbatim, but you guys can get these slides and kind of read through those a little bit more. Make sure there's a barrier between the hand and the food. Keep the equipment clean for obvious reasons. Correct temperatures. Protection from the environment. So pretty simple stuff that's probably pretty simple around most convention center, most shows going on. Allergic customers, so just simple stuff. There's 4 slides out there that you can read through. If you don't have the presentation, this presentation today is in the calendar invite, so it should be in the notes there. Showcase attire. Setup is going to be Sunday and Monday before 2 p.m. and it's just casual because we're busy, sweating, getting things set up, busy time. But start at Monday at 2 p.m. through Wednesday at 11:30, business casual. Jackets are encouraged for dinner. Teardown will be Wednesday at noon, and again, we swap back to the casual side of things since we're going to be busy. Graphic design request. We got 1 week left on this. So if you have anything that you would like AWG to print for you for the showcase, have it delivered to the showcase, that's how you're going to do that. There's a request form out there. Click on that and submit that. Again, we have 1 week for that. That's kind of the deadline. Anything after that, you get expedited fees and all that stuff, but we want to avoid all that stuff if this is kind of what you need for the show. Showcase layout. So there's a link in here to all the booth numbers. If you haven't been communicated to yet, all this is a simple Excel document, and you're going to have your name, organization name over here. This is also going to have booth sizes in it. I know everyone's waiting for that, along with your booth number. So that's listed out here also. So if you don't have that, click on that link. It'll get it to anything you need to do from a size or a booth number perspective. Wendy, I think you're on the call today. Is there anything you want to add from this perspective?
The only thing I'd like to say is those of you who have not received an actual picture of your diagram or the layout, those are coming hopefully by the end of the day today. We had a few tweaks that we needed to do just with moving a few vendors around. So we didn't want to share them prematurely and then have to make changes. So that's referencing center store, produce and floral, at least on the main expo hall floor. So we will get those diagrams over to you as soon as possible. And with that said, those of you who have already received your diagrams, please remember that we need, when you're ordering your electrical, we also need where you want your electrical in your booth. So as in years past, just take the booth design and drop that into your box folder so that we can share those with Fern and get your electrical outlets where you want those placed on the floor. And I think that's all I have right now, Jason.
All right, thank you, Wendy. Showcase vendor meeting space. Was there a question out there?
Jason, I have a quick question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Jason Domenico with RPE. Regarding the showcase layout and the exhibitor kit, is that information forthcoming and that'll be available on the exhibitor section in that awgshows.com, or is that already available and I'm just not seeing it?
Wendy, you want to take that one?
Yes, so the Overland Park Convention Center's exhibitor kit is accessible via the link that is provided for Overland Park Convention Center. Fern's service kit is still being finalized. Fern is finishing up we just had the VMC show. So they're finishing up with the VMC show, and they are working to get our service package together. We were told that we would have it by the end of the week. So I'm assuming that they're on track for that. So we will share that with you guys as soon as we have it.
And the showcase layout, is that available or?
So as I just mentioned, produce and center stores layouts, we had a couple of tweaks. So we're finishing up those now, and those will be shared with you as soon as we have them. I just got first glance at those, and so before I share those with the vendors, I need to let those department heads review them one final time. The bakery, deli, meat, and seafood teams, you've already received your information prior to this call, so you guys should be moving forward with electrical and diagrams.
Thank you.
You bet.
Hey, Jason, I just opened the PowerPoint, and where you're showing a hyperlink to link to booth number and booth size, I don't have a hyperlink there to click.
Okay, I'll just put the link in there below that. I'll pull that up and update the slide.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think maybe even holding down the control button and hitting click, or the command button and clicking on it may do it for you also. Give that a shot.
Yeah, I tried that. There doesn't seem like there's a link there at all.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, no, I can do that later on. I'll get it out there.
Thank you.
Showcase meeting space, Diamond Platinums. Thank you for your responses. We got all those in. In fact, this is probably the last time we talk about it. So we'll move forward on that side. We are going to have a meeting space out there. It just won't be as large as what we were planning on, just because of the response to that question. So thank you very much for responding to that. FAQs, just a reminder out there that we do have those FAQ documents out there. You can click on that, pulls up a Word document for you, and we kind of keep that updated as we go through these calls. Timeline, Learning Lounge, January 27th workshops, we're past that. Everything's been posted out there as far as schedules to awgshows.com. So make sure you're checking that out. Sponsorship collateral, we're through that. And then February 6th, educational workshops schedule posted. So that's kind of what I just referred to. February 17th, design request due. So if you have anything around that area, that's coming up. So that was that one form we showed up that if you have anything that you want us to print, AWG to print for you guys for the show, that's where you want to make sure you have it into us. February 22nd, there's that educational session that we talked about, just a quick touch base call, setting expectations and really answering any of those questions around the Learning Lounge and those educational workshops. March 8th, Learning Lounge workshop, that's when your presentation is due. So upload that to your Box account. And then on March 20th is the show opening day. So lots of stuff going on. I think we're in pretty good shape going into this show this year. Things are shaping up really well. Any questions whatsoever, annualshowcase.com or annualshowcase@awginc.com is your site to go to. And then just make sure you're checking out that awgshows.com site. There's so much information out there. And I would say it's changing on a weekly basis at this point as we get closer to that, to the show. But I'll really open up to questions at this point. I see, Wendy, you've been answering questions through the online. Do any of those questions you've been answering, do they need to be surfaced to the larger group?
Yes, so just a couple of them. First one is Wi-Fi accessible at the Overland Park Convention Center or Fern request. So Wi-Fi is available for free through the Overland Park Convention Center. And if we haven't shared that with you, that information will be shared closer to day of show. Were booth numbers sent out? Yes, so booth numbers were shared with portions of the vendor community. And then again, Jason shared the link associated with booth numbers via this presentation. You may be able to access that link once the presentation closes. I know sometimes we have that hiccup as well. So this is another one that I've seen several times this week, is a certificate of insurance required for the show. So when our vendors are set up with AWG, we get a certificate of insurance from you then. The only time that we may need an additional certificate of insurance for the show is if you're bringing a trailer or you're going to have special equipment that may require additional insurance that's not covered in your certificate that you submit at vendor setup. So if you're not sure about that, email me separately and we can circle back with our risk management team and make sure that we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's on that. How long will it take for Fern to get back with us? As I previously mentioned, they're just wrapping up the VMC show and working on our service kit. So I would say if you reached out to them, give them, 2 or 3 days to get back to you. Once they're focused on our show fully, they'll be getting back to you within the same day. They are very attentive. So we're just patient with them right now because they're working dual shows for us. So this is actually a really good question. So regarding display samples, the deadline for samples to be pulled from the Kansas City warehouse, those sample request forms are due tomorrow by the end of the business day. So please make sure anything that you're requesting that is currently slotted in the Kansas City warehouse to be brought to the Overland Park Convention Center. Those forms need to be submitted by the end of the day tomorrow. For those products that you are shipping on a pallet to the Kansas City warehouse to have it shuttled to the Overland Park Convention Center, you've got a little bit more time there. They're asking for those to be coming in just prior to the 19th. And Jason, can you pull up that form? I am having trouble accessing it. The special request form. Let's see. There's specific dates on there. I apologize, you guys. I can't see it. Yes. So they're asking that those shipments be into the house by March 6th for the dry products. Obviously, the perishable products will be arriving later than that. So we'll touch base on the perishable products closer to the show on days moving forward. So does anybody have any questions about samples or products being shipped to the warehouse or shuttled to the OPC? Okay, I think that's it for me, Jess.
All right. I see a few questions coming in about where is this presentation. Again, it should be attached. There's a link on your calendar invite. What I will do after this call is if you're on the calendar invite, I'm just going to send out, I'll blast this link out to everyone just so you get an email from me with that link, and then you guys are able to forward it on to whomever you'd like to have access to that. But other than that, we've got 2 minutes left. Is there any other questions out there for the AWG team?
I asked a question in the chat about if there's a specific hotel that we should be targeting staying at.
So Wendy, you want to take that one? Let's see, I can pull up the site.
Yes, so when you register to attend the show on the website, once you click to register, there should be links to the hotels that are available for vendors. Is Lori Kay on the call? I unfortunately I don't cover the hotels, so I'm not sure where we are with sponsorship and hotels.
Yes, I am on the call. The vendor hotels still have space. So if you do run into trouble getting into one of those hotels that's linked, go to the AWG Showcase email and let me know. But as far as I know, there are plenty of rooms still available.
Thank you, Lori.
All right, thanks, guys. Any other questions from the group? All right, 9:30, very good. If you got any other questions, Annual Showcase is the email address to go to. And you guys have a great afternoon, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Jason.